Hey YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Onyx. Sorry for disappearing again, but we've got an absolute banger of a video here today. Gonna be making a custom Game Boy. That's right. You may be wondering what this weird black thing is right here. That's just something to make sure that I'm in frame. So basically, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be taking this Game Boy, making it like new in a cool custom looking case. So what's the case gonna be like? Glad you asked. This cool smoky clear black. Yeah, I picked this up. It was like $15. Yeah, this is injection molded and kind of milled out. This should be decent quality. Except the other parts aren't gonna be. I've also got a new screen lens. This one is made of glass rather than plastic. The one that came with the shell was made of plastic. This one is made of plastic, but glass is way higher quality. So anyway, let's go ahead and do this. Let me just zoom in a little to make sure you can easily see what I'm doing. But I don't want to zoom in too much, so that way you can't see what I'm doing. There we go. I'm sorry I can't zoom in a ton. Because if I do, it's just gonna obscure everything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the game, and to show you that this thing works actually, I'm gonna turn it on. Hey, the screen stopped being a bit finicky. Yeah, no, it's perfectly fine. Oh, I don't have any new buns with it, and because the ones that came with it I threw out, as they would have been of low quality. Um, as well as the screen lens and the rubber membranes. Actually, I tested out the rubber membranes a little. I pushed like the silicone for like the A and B buttons, and it wouldn't pop back up. I pushed it down and it stayed down until I manually popped it back up. Well, that's a sign of bad quality, folks. So I'm just gonna use the original ones. They're so fine. Not to mention the aftermarket kits never come. Comes with black buttons. They always come with the light gray certain select, so it's not really gonna be a huge difference either. So you're gonna need a screwdriver. Not exactly this one, but you know, any screwdriver will work. Doesn't have to be super high quality. And you need a Y1 bit. You will not be able to get this open with a Phillips or a flathead. I'm gonna make sure I'm still in frame. Yeah, I made this to ensure that I'm still not sure. My suspicions is that I'm perfectly in frame in 1 second, and the next, if the camera just, the focal point just teleports to a different part. That's what I'm afraid of. So let's, we can yank those out later. Sorry if you can't really see what I'm doing, but basically I'm just taking out the tri-wing screws. Like I said, you do need a size Y1. You can use a Y0 as well, but it will chew up the screws a little more because it'll rotate a lot more before you're moving this screw, because it'll just be too small. Now, I don't want to break the screws free because I might end up breaking the case in the process. But anyway, we're going to set this aside for now. And we're going to start with the front. Now, I'm just going to very quickly pop the screws out. Put them in the tray. The shell also came with screws, but again, they're made of a softer metal. So they probably would have like stripped out as I was putting them in. Like the heads just would have gotten all chewed up while I was screwing them in. So yeah, you should always use the screws that come with your shell kit. No, I'm just kidding, never. They're pretty much identical to the originals and pretty much interchangeable. You just dispose of them all you want. it's not like, you know, the shell won't go together. You use like the old ones. Anyway, we're gonna set that aside. The new shelves came with battery contacts, but you can probably guess what I'm gonna do with them by now. Replace them with the originals. It's just the original Game Boy. Like, every part is higher quality than what you'll get. So just remove the 10 JIS screws. Everyone says it's Phillips, but it isn't. JIS screws and Phillips screws are very different in the sense that Phillips screws are more precise, but JIS screws are a little wider. Like, the wings are a bit wider, and they're actually narrower at the edges than they are in the center. So Phillips head screwdriver will get the job done, but it will chew up the screws a bit. You want a JIS. A JIS 1. It's the perfect, most snug size. We'll get in an iFixit kit. And again, you don't have to use an iFixit kit. You can use any screwdriver you have laying around the house, just as long as it's the right kind and it fits in the screw. You don't want to damage the screw. Now, there's also another screw here. I've seen someone on YouTube forget that screw and then rip the motherboard out, and they completely destroyed their Game Boy. If the motherboard's not coming out, you probably forgot something. Like right there, I was about to lift it, but I noticed a bit of resistance. This screw still hasn't been taken out. So yes, now you can just lift out the board, and we're not going to put its screen down for obvious reasons. We don't want to scuff it up. And normally, I would clean the button contacts, but A, I don't have my rubbing alcohol down here with me, and B, well, I don't really play this thing enough to warrant it, because the button contacts haven't gotten worn down since I last cleaned it. You know what I mean? I don't play this thing a ton. Like, I've had these rechargeable batteries. Yes, they are rechargeable in there since Christmas. They've still got a ton of battery life left to them. And I'm not applying the batteries. I'm just shaming myself for not using this thing more. Oh, I'm giving it a nice new case. I should praise it a lot more than I use it a lot more than I do. But, you know, maybe I'll use it more because, you know, it's cool looking. You want to take the board out like this. Also going to be, well, you know this right now. I'm going to be using this original cartridge shield for quality reasons. And also I would like to have a part of this Game Boy with a new one. Plus, this is a solid piece of tin or aluminum. That was made of like particle tin. Like really low quality stuff. I'd love to put the Nintendo Repair Service sticker on the battery cover, but unfortunately I don't have one right now. Gonna real check. Make sure I'm still in frame. Oh, perfect, I am. This is going really well so far. I'd hate to mess it up. Okay, so what we're gonna do real quick is remove the battery contacts. So now you want to get a flathead. I would recommend a flathead size 1.5. And what you want to do is you gotta get here. There's a little tab. Push it down. And you can push it, and you can slide the battery contact out. And there's 2 more on the bottom, right here. Do that again. They're a little more difficult because of the angle you gotta get them at. So, yeah, pardon if it moves out of frame, but these ones are a little more difficult to get out. And then, yeah, there we go. And this back shell has been completely stripped of its humanity. So now, what we're gonna do is take the new shell. It's cool. Smoke black one. Remove battery contacts. Now these ones don't look like they're clipped into place. Now we need to remove the battery cover. You know, these are just slid into place. Let's yank them out. Don't yank out your battery contacts, guys. So now what we want to do is we want to just push these clips out, give it more resistance as it clips in so it doesn't get out as easy. W1, W2, W2, H1, H1. They're all the same part. Oh, I'm thinking there's like a specific place you had to put them in. I was a bit stupid though. Okay, so what you want to do is, so a negative comes out of here, which means you want to put it in like this. Okay, there you go. I think it's bent a little too much. Again, this is a bit difficult to do. It shouldn't be, but you know, it's what it is. Oh yeah, if I had waited. Worse. Oh, scheisse. You know, it's not. It's just as bad as the ones that were already in there. Where did I put my flathead now? Ugh. Oh, it's under the shell. Okay. There we go. I'm just gonna push this back down. I'm really sorry for being out of frame, but things like this need a good amount of concentration. It's giving me so much resistance because the shell hasn't been worn in yet. Oh, wait a minute. That's what's not going in. Gotta go in the wrong way. Alright, so. It says it's going to a specific place. You know, this goes in the top. Sorry, guys. I'm a bit of a dummy. There we go. There it is. And basically what you gotta do is you just gotta pop them in. Yep, there we go. Now we got high quality battery contacts. Now we gotta put the old shield in. These are not tightened down all the way. Again, you know, these are the cheaper screws, so I'm not going to be reusing those. You see how it kind of looks like a little more grainy? It's probably made of like tiny little pieces of metal, like really, really cheap metal, like the same kind you see in tin cans for soda. Oh yeah. That's the new one. It's the old one. It's So a lot more of a dry sound this old one. And then we can just plop that down and then put our factory original screws in there of try quality back in. Wait, a little buggy. We killed a little buggy. There we go. I was actually surprised by how much texture this shell had. Look, where's you want to cross it? Yeah. It's kind of scary because if you go too far, it's game over. Oh, a little thud sound, so that means it's falling into the threads. The listing did promise it would have come with an extension port cover, but it didn't. I don't really care. I don't like the extension port cover. I don't think it looks good. I never put it on. There we go. Oh yeah, it's going so close. Like, yeah, okay. Put our power switch in. We set it to the off position. Gotta grab my screwdriver because it fell. And what we do is we make sure that this power switch is in the off position, which it is, and then drop it into place, like so. And then we start putting screws in, and since none of the threads have been tapped yet, we gotta make them ourselves. You don't want to do them too far, because then you'll break something. You could break the motherboard, you could break the plastic, Once it starts getting like a lot more resistance than normal, that's when you stop. You stop. Before, it's bouncing back a rotation. That's when you stop. There we go. Oh no, that's not down all the way. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go. This one is all the way in. It's just fine. That is fine. So we are done with this back portion. So now we can take the buttons out of the front. How do I do it? That's how I do it. Okay, now we're gonna put them in my hand, set them aside of our front shell. our buttons in. There we go. The maroon buttons of the Game Boy. All black. You know, I don't mind all black, but the thing is, you know, with gray center select, I was like, well, why have all black buttons in center select? I'm just gonna have all standard buttons, you know? Black center select. So, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. There's no screen lens. I don't have to displace any dust on the screen because, well, there's nothing for the dust to get stuck behind. I don't have a screen lens on yet. Therefore, dust cannot get stuck behind the screen lens, as there is none. But I feel like I need to be stating again. Do not have to blow the screen. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Some are easier to do than others. You need to do it tight. You just need to do it like firm, like snug. Like, really good the first time, but like, don't screw it out at all. Oh, look how good that looks so far. Oh. I like that. And now we need to put the house together. Oh, yeah. That looks good. Now, since the screen is protected, because it's a bit recessed, it's not gonna, touch the surface. Where's my tri-wing? Where did I put my tri-wing? I put it back. I'm brilliant. this part is the most nerve-wracking, because again, if you do it too far, maybe what's known as a screw bulge. Clear plastic essential one like that. That's perfect. Oh, yeah. This is looking sleek. Alright, let's see if she works. Tight squeeze, because, I haven't worn this shell in yet. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Very light plastic bulges there. That's fine. It's very minor. I think what I had to do was take the contacts out and put them back in. That's what I'm going to quickly do. Hopefully it's just that. Very quickly take it apart and then we can finish it up. Yeah, I'll have to tap the screws again, so I've got the worst part out of the way. I don't think it has to do with the screw bolts I created. Because I want to, cause issues like that. I refuse to use the contacts that came with the shell, so I'm not going to swap those in. Well, they're probably just made of tin or aluminum or something. These ones are made of copper or brass, so like decently conductive material, and then it's nickel plated. What solder is made of, but it's obviously not just aluminum. It's got lead in it. Or I'll get that out later. I want one screw, that's a bit difficult. Ugh. Yeah, this is not great. Okay, there we go. To his take the all battery contacts out and then pop them back in. Before we put all of it back together, we'll do a test. Just make sure it's doing fine. Put it all the way back together. Try to turn it on, it doesn't work. This has happened before where I put a new shell together and it doesn't work, and it had to do with the battery contacts. I realize how old the Game Boy is. Is the Game Boy fine? Yes, it was working just fine at the beginning of the video, if you can recall that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop out the battery contacts once more. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put them back in. Isn't that exciting? Gonna bend these way out. Most resistance, or it's a little harder to force out. You just want to pop them in there. There we go. Take this and you want to pop this in there as well. There we go. Scheisse. This one wasn't bent like that at all. Maybe this wasn't making like contact, like this kind of kept being slippy slidey. Nevertheless, I do have a good bend in there. Now none of them should come out. So they are going to be straight forever. There we go. And then we gotta line up the headphone jack again and then screw it all down. That's the flathead. What we're gonna do is reconnect the front logic board to the back one. There we go. You can just counterclockwise trick because we've already created the threads. Yeah, all right. So now, like I said, I'm not going to put it all the way back together. I'm just going to put it back together enough to test. What we'll do is we're going to plug in our ribbon cable, make sure it's fully seated. Now we're going to put in our batteries. It's a pain to get in, but whatever. Gonna work this time. Oh. Awesome. Okay, so cool. Just like a bit finicky. Okay, well we're gonna have to take out the batteries at the edges. That's all we need to take out. Excess via screws in the battery compartment. Just take out the side screws. That's it. Should be fine. And take all of them out for good measure. Okay, so the Game Boy's fine. The batteries were just being really weird. When we have everything back together with the battery cover on, we're making much better contact because it's just gonna be shoved into the correct position. And I've got no choice but to make good contact. That's what I'm hoping at least. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. Again, no screw bulge. We're good. We're good. Okay, time to put the batteries back in. There we go. That one is a pain to put in. But I assume once I take it out and put it back in a few times, it should wear that plastic down. It's this one that's causing an issue. No, I'm putting the new battery contacts in. But I don't know. Like, well, that's pretty disrupted there. Not disrupted there. Okay, so it still recognizes our copy of Tetris 2. Yep, it's a pretty good game. Okay, well, Star works. I assume select works. So what we're gonna do is take our new glass screen lens. Gonna take off the adhesive. Okay, there we go. Don't want to touch the part you through. Ruin the nice finish, and then we're just gonna. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That looks clean. Alright. Oh yeah, that looks. There's a. Yeah, that battery ain't coming loose now. So yeah. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you did. If you did not, don't subscribe, don't like the video, dislike, I don't care. And then I will see you next time. Goodbye.